in that, you're going to be seeing magic. That is definitely true. I can see that here. How can you get in touch with your high priestess self? Before we get started today, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that this is a difficult and dark time in the world for many of us right now. And I am coming into all of these readings with that understanding and awareness. And nothing that is shared here is intended to mitigate whatever else might be going on in your life at the moment. I see tarot as a way to empower oneself to be able to see things more clearly and know exactly where to take action when maybe the next best step isn't so clear. So with that, we will get into our readings for this month. Thank you. Gemini, welcome to your March reading. Let's see what we have in store for you.
As always, we'll be using our classic Mystic Compass spread, starting here at the north. This card will represent the area of your life that has to do with housing, finances, career, etc. And then we've got an action item to follow. Over here to the east, we've got our thoughts, mindset, focus, dreams, as well as an action item to complement. Down here at the south, we've got our passions, our belief systems, anything that gets us really fired up, that gets us going, and our motivation, as well as a corresponding action item. Over here to the west, we've got our feelings and emotions, anything that is touching us in a deep emotional way, as well as an action item that corresponds. Finally, we've got one card in the center to tie everything together to show us what exactly we are looking at as the main point of the reading of this month and how everything is interconnected.
To the north, we've got Ace of Pentacles. Perfect placement there. Pentacles also represent the element of earth, and so this is looking at your career, finances, housing. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning in that same realm. So there's something very new about what's going on for you this month, Gemini. I don't know if you've been thinking about moving to a new home, getting a new job, maybe exploring a new career path, new studies. Some of you might be studying something brand new, starting a new school program, for example. All of that is, I am seeing that very clearly. This is not good or bad, it just is. It's just new, and that's something that is that's present for you here. Your action item in this realm is the 9 of Cups. So Gemini, whatever this new thing is that you're doing, make sure it's something that you really feel strongly about and that you feel passionate about, and take inspired action. So don't just do something because it's how it's always been done or how you've always done it, but do something because you actually feel like this is the thing for you, you know, like this is the new apartment for you, this is the new job for you. And in that, you're going to be seeing magic. So it's like, I know that this is for me because there's magic in it, because I can see the sparkle, I can see what is new and exciting about it, and I can see that there is, that I'm divinely guided on this path. So it's not just finding the new thing, it's really feeling into it and feeling like this is the right path for you. This is the right new opportunity for you. Some of you are going to be finding new ways to make money, also that have to do with magic. So looking at how you can make that happen, how you can invite the magic even more than what is already present. Alrighty, Gemini, let's move over to the east with our thoughts, dreams, and how you're spending your focus and time in your head. This is with the air element, and this is amazing. We've made a perfect jump from the 9 of Cups to the Ten of Cups. So this is fulfillment of family and feeling a sense of togetherness. And so you're spending a lot of time thinking about what that means. You're thinking about what that means to be a family, about what that means to have a family. And for a lot of us, myself included, that means non-blood relatives. Okay, that doesn't mean the family that you were born into or that you grew up in. It's finding your own sense of family and community and what that really means. And you're spending a lot of time thinking about that, Gemini. And where are those thoughts taking you? Let's see what your action item is over here to get a better idea of where that's taking you. Five of Pentacles. So you're thinking about what you've gained or will gain and what you've lost or will lose. And you're also thinking about what it means to be a pariah or a social outcast, a lot of you. And if anyone really truly sees you for you. Does your family, whether biological or chosen family, really see you for you? That's what I'm seeing for you here, Gemini. And the answer is to find the people and the places and the communities that do see you for you, because they do exist. I promise you, there is space for everyone on the planet. And there are places that do truly understand you, even though it doesn't seem at first glance that they would or that they could. And so there is really something special here. What you seek is seeking you. I'll say that again. What you seek is seeking you. So putting out into the universe, not the desire to, not the search of family and community and a feeling of wholesomeness and belonging, but already having it. So thinking about doing some meditations about around law of attraction, for example, and assuming that you already have it, and that is how you will fulfill that for yourself, Gemini, is by assuming that you already have it and then going through a daily life in your mind and walking yourself through, what does each step of my day look like when I already know that my soul family exists, or that that I have a sense of belonging, because it's more of a sense of belonging that I'm seeing for you, Gemini, than the sense of family. Like, you want to belong to something, you want to belong somewhere with a group of people, you want to have either a core group of friends or a solid living situation where you're living in a community, maybe in a co-op type setting, and you are looking for that sense of belonging. And maybe it might appear from the outside like you belong, but you don't feel like you belong, or you don't think that you belong. So that's what you're really looking for. Also, what are action items that you can take? I've already told you about the meditation, which is a great one. Besides that, put yourself in those spaces where you are going to find those people. So there are, for example, group therapy sessions that exist in most major cities in the US and online. So maybe looking at group therapy is one way of doing that. Maybe looking for spiritual community, a yoga studio that offers other types of events where you can actually get to know people, looking at cacao ceremonies and things of that nature. All of that is something that you can be looking forward to, and putting yourself in those places for the magic to happen. So we were talking about magic earlier, and finding magic in your housing and finances and career and that area of your life. The same thing is true here, where you're putting yourself in places where there's more likely magic and more magic in abundance to occur. Alrighty, Gemini, let's move it down to the south and see what we have in store for you with our fire element. Interesting. I'm not even surprised. This is super interesting because we jumped from the 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups on our last reading from North to East, and now we're jumping from 5 of Pentacles to 6 of Pentacles, from East to South. Very intriguing. With this card, we are looking at reciprocity, and what it is that we're willing to give or receive. So what are we willing to give to others of what we have? Are we giving enough? Are we giving too much? Are people asking so much of us, and are we in control of how much we're actually giving? Because people will ask a lot of you, and you have to be in control of what it is exactly you're willing to give. So if someone is asking for 10 of something, maybe you're only willing to give 1, or maybe you're only willing to give 2. So you need to limit that energy exchange and that energy negotiation. It's ongoing, it's never ending. And this is in relation to your spirituality. So it could be a literal tithing at a place of worship, a church, a synagogue, a temple, a monastery, something, an ashram, and maybe the percentage of tithing that is requested is 10%, but maybe you can't really afford that right now, and maybe you can only afford to give 1% or $1, you know. So it's being diligent about what you're willing to give financially and also time-wise, any type of resource that you're willing to give in this. So are you willing to, maybe you're willing to read books about a certain spiritual path, but you're not willing to show up to a church service. So what are you willing to do, and what is available to you? Those are the questions that you're asking yourself, Gemini. What is your action item in relation to this? Ace of Swords. With your Ace of Swords, we are also at another new beginning. So we had our new beginning with our Ace of Pentacles earlier. We're now looking at Ace of Swords. So this is a new beginning in terms of thought. How do we begin thinking differently? How do we begin focusing differently? So maybe this is the first time that you've ever thought about tithing, or maybe this is the first time that you've ever thought about how you're spending your time in spiritual community. And so, for example, I like to think of tithing as a little more fluid and a little more abstract than what a lot of other people would think of it as. Most people consider tithing as a portion of your income that you give to the church or a place of worship. I think of tithing as how much of my time, energy, and money that I'm giving to anything outside of myself. So for example, am I donating 10% of my income to cancer research? That could be one form of tithing that's outside of the church. So it's a way that I'm giving back in a philanthropic way, but maybe not through because I feel strongly about it, but I'm not doing that through any sort of religious affiliation, right? Also volunteering. So this is tithing can also come in the form, I think, of volunteering. How am I spending my time? Am I spending my time giving back to the community? Do I spend time volunteering at a soup kitchen once a month? Or do I spend time volunteering with stray animals, at the animal shelter once a week, you know? So giving of my time in that way is also a form of tithing. So if you don't have money to give, you do have time, and you must be in control of how you're spending your time, or others will control that for you. So think about how you're spending your time, how you're spending your money, and how you're spending any other resources. Maybe you have a certain special skill set, for example, And that is going to help you on this path of fulfilling your true purpose. And what are you fulfilling? How are you using your time, money, resources to fulfill your purpose? And are you overgiving or undergiving in relation to what is that purpose? All things for you to think about, Gemini. Next, moving over to the west, we have our water element, and this is representing emotions and feelings. And out pops the Emperor. What does this mean, Gemini? This means someone that is fully in control of their emotions. It can also mean to the extent that maybe their emotions are hidden away and cut off. Maybe you've spent so much time thinking that you haven't spent enough time feeling. For some of you, that is definitely true. I can see that here. Maybe you're so focused on the day-to-day of what has to get done. You're focused on getting your kids to school, getting your meals prepared, going to the grocery store to buy the food in the first place before even preparing the meals, having enough money in the first place to buy the groceries. Maybe you're so focused on all of those things that you have distracted yourself from really truly feeling deeply. And so this is just calling that to attention. Let's see, what is your action item over here? Haha! The High Priestess. So we've doubled down on our major arcana cards over here. This month, Gemini, for you is really coming down to this emotional aspect. How can you get in touch with your High Priestess self? The High Priestess is able to, so we're like moving from this Emperor energy to this High Priestess energy. The High Priestess takes no shit, but she's also benevolent and is courageous and compassionate and very in touch with her own emotions. Okay, so with that being said, how can we still maintain control over our day-to-day, our finances, the things that we must do as humans on the planet to survive, while also honoring that we are humans in the first place, and humans have feelings and emotions, and recognizing the power that comes with that. Let us see what is your final card for the month, Gemini, to pull everything together. We've got the Three of Wands. So we are looking at growing something, tending to something of which we are passionate. Where do our passions lie? When we are in alignment with our passions, doors start to open up for us. So we are able to, and that means that other people want to help us fulfill our passions. So we can start on the journey. We of course are planting our own seeds. Nobody else can plant them for us. Nobody else knows what our passions are. But once they see the seeds start to grow, other people are also getting excited about it, and they can give us ideas and help and support to help bring those seeds to fruition. So we're looking at things like job opportunities, maybe new clients come into your field, you're suddenly able to make sales that with a new product or a new service that you have just launched. But it's because you're in alignment. Okay, so with everything that we've already talked about, that is looking at, this is true for everything we've discussed already. Finding the magic in the mundane, the sense of community, family, belonging, and looking for what is also looking for us. Being aware of what we're giving and receiving, and how we focus and think about giving and receiving, and philanthropy. Being in control of our emotions, and but also not hiding them away, and still leading with compassion and emotion from a place of sovereignty and royalty. And I hope to see you all in the comments. Please like, share, comment below. Check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs for a fuller picture of what is in store for you this month. Thank you. Bye.